I'm Bob Leckler, a member of the Rusk County Community Foundation's Board of Directors. And I'm here to introduce tonight that we will be welcoming you to our foundation's annual report to the community. We're coming to you virtually from the Borden Avenue Exchange as a result of COVID-19. So even though we're not together in person, we hope that tonight you will experience the excitement that we feel for all the wonderful things the foundation has done for our local community. We're going to be hearing from some people who are going to talk about what the foundation has done for them this past year, and we're going to talk about our vision for the future. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Lenita Stutzman. She's the director of Powerhouse, and she's here to share with us what the foundation has done for this important service to our youth.
Good evening, everyone online, as well as you gathered here this evening with me. As Dr. Leckler said, I am Lenita Stutzman, the Executive Director of Powerhouse Youth Center here in Ladysmith. Powerhouse opened their doors in 2018 to students, so we're coming up here on our third year of being able to help change lives through our community organization. So whether you read the Bible or not on a regular basis, applying the principles from the book of Proverbs brings about much wisdom, rewards, and blessing in one's life. And recently I've been studying and reading this great book, and I came across a proverb that I thought was very befitting for our evening tonight. It's found in the 11th chapter, in the 11th verse, in the very first part of it. And this is what it says. It says, "Upright citizens bless a city and make it prosper." I want to say that again. Upright citizens bless a city and make it prosper. Each of you who serve on the Rusk County Community Foundation, I believe, in my humble opinion, are upright citizens. Now, I don't know you all personally, but you share your treasure, you share your time, and you share your talents with this great organization. And I'm honored and I'm excited to be here tonight to tell you how that has helped Powerhouse. Powerhouse received our first RCCF grant through the Give 365 in May of 2017. We were a brand new organization, not even yet open to students, and so financially we didn't have a large pocket. And your grant of $2,500 that year was able to get us started in our programs, our art supplies, our kitchen supplies, and our sewing supplies. And those kitchen supplies have come in so many times over and over again. I want to tell you a little bit about those to begin with. Every Thanksgiving, we cook a traditional Thanksgiving meal. People from the community help us out, but the students get to make pie crusts and the sides that go along with that. So we're coming up on our third Thanksgiving meal together, and we're excited to be able to offer that to our students. We also have been able to make different desserts, and we used to meet in the senior youth building there in the fairgrounds, and so we'd leave the desserts for the seniors the next day to get to eat the treats. And of course the students and their family members as well have enjoyed those treats. The art supplies have been used to teach art classes. We've brought local artists in to the Powerhouse to teach those classes, painting, drawing, different things like that. And then we also got to do some meals in a jar, and then we decorated those and we donated those to the food pantry. And we also got to use the art supplies to provide gifts for the families at Christmas time. We did an All Mades by Hand event, and one of the locations that the students got to make a gift for friends or loved one was an art piece that they could then give to their families at Christmas time. So there's been many different things that we've been able to do through your generosity. I think one of my favorite ones has been the sewing projects. Most recently, we had someone donate some fleece, and we had a community member came in who knows a lot more about sewing than I do, and the students were able to make cat mats for the Rusk County Animal Shelter, and we donated those as well as some little animal toys to the animal shelter. Probably my all-time favorite one, though, was getting to make little pillowcase dresses. And those little pillowcase dresses, made here in Ladysmith through your generous donations, went all the way to South America, to a country, Peru, and they were given to little girls at Christmas time. Probably for the first time in their lives, those little girls received a dress at Christmas time because of the RCCF grant, Give 365. So these are just a few little stories about what your grant has done to help our students in our community and the world. Our second grant was Give 365 in June of 2018, and that was some recreational activities as well as some things for our tutor lab. The big project that we purchased that year was a 9-square game, which is always a favorite for our outdoor events. And now that we're at the old elementary school, we can even set it up in the gymnasium and we get to use it indoors as well. And then some basketballs and dodgeballs, of course, always have for a great time in the summertime as well as in the gym. Our tutor lab logged 18 hours in our last school year, even including the fact that we weren't in person March through June of last school years. And in our tutor lab, we were able to buy a jetpack and a Verizon account so we can offer internet to the students through your grant, as well as the continual donations that people have given us. We've also received generous donations from Bev and Gordy Dukersheim and Jack and Jackie Peterson's donor-advised funds. And those discretionary funds have allowed us to pay our staff person, which is our program director, make a meal for the students on Monday evenings, and keep providing those fun educational activities that all the students enjoy every time we gather on Monday evenings. Powerhouse is making a difference in our community. We see it, not just in the students, but also in the whole family as these students go back and start talking about what they have done, and we get to meet the parents and we build those relationships with the parents as well. And so on behalf of Powerhouse, I would like to say a huge thank you to Rusk County Community Foundation and all of your constituents and those people that trust you with their finances to make this possible. You are transforming this community by what you are doing. May God bless you and thank you.
Good evening. My name is Debbie Klein, and I am also one of the members of the Rusk County Community Foundation Board. Tonight, I'm going to, it is my honor to be involved with the Heart of Gold Award. The Rusk County Community Foundation defines a Heart of Gold recipient as a person who gives of themselves unselfishly to serve others, with volunteer acts of service and kindness beyond the call of duty. The foundation wishes to identify and provide recognition to everyday citizens in our community who touch the hearts of others. This year's award is given posthumously to Donna Wachowski, who was known as an inspirational, God-fearing, and generous organizer in Rusk County. Her motto was, "Let the day unfold before you." And her days unselfishly unfolded in myriad ways. If she thought you needed help, she would organize volunteers. If you were in trouble, she would be by your side through the entire ordeal. And if you needed some adventure, she would take you to the river to kayak. Nothing seemed impossible for her. Donna lived every moment to her full capacity. Here are a few more examples of her kind of endeavors. She was deeply involved in the formation of the Hawkins Library and organized volunteers to give the children of Hawkins public access to books. As the director of Rusk County Kinship for 30+ years, Donna led the expansion and outreach of this mentor-based youth program that received state recognition. She truly believed no one was a mistake and worked hard so every child had opportunities to expand their potential. She was instrumental in organizing and overseeing the Heart of the North Gospel Ministries, which brought phenomenal speakers, the Living Nativity at Christmas, talent shows, the National Day of Prayer, and many other events to our community. She organized and ran the annual Mardi Gras Bingo fundraiser, co-chaired KAMO, an adult mentored outdoor program for youth. She helped create the ICAA food pantry and food truck, which provided volunteer opportunities for the Ladysmith High School students. She started the food pantry in Medford, Wisconsin. She served as a teen teacher for Raising Highly Capable Kids program. She was an active board member and treasurer for Powerhouse. She helped organize Rusk County Women's Ministries, which conducted annual retreats for women in Rusk County, including the When God and Cancer Meet retreat. During her own struggles with stage 4 cancer, Donna took it upon herself to make binders for people newly diagnosed with cancer and share supportive and educational books, usually along with a visit. She volunteered at schools, churches, scout troops, and Little League. She was an active member of the Ladysmith Area Trail Association. Donna knew life was a gift to be enjoyed, appreciated, and shared. We will never know of all the lives she has touched, or of all the other examples of her generosity and love towards friends and strangers alike. I will now read the letter of acceptance on behalf of Donna's family. On behalf of the family of Donna Wachowski, thank you for honoring her years of service and contribution to Rusk County. Donna was an 18-year-old newlywed when she moved to Ladysmith in 1968. It didn't take her long to start meeting people and growing roots in the community. Over the next 50 years, Donna invested her time and talents heavily throughout all of Rusk County. While she and Lee lived in Hawkins, she was known for her work with the school, the Hawkins Library, scouting, and perhaps most of all, the kinship of Rusk County. I remember many times being asked, "Is your mom the kinship lady?" A simple trip to the grocery store would take what seemed like forever because everyone knew Donna and everyone knew Donna loved to talk. I don't know how many times we told her, "You know everybody in Rusk County." She would shake her head and say, "No, I don't," to which we would teasingly reply, "Not yet, give her a week." After moving back to Ladysmith in 1991, Donna continued to be involved with organizations such as the Indian Head Community Action Agency, KAMO, Mardi Gras, the Junior Fair, Heart of the North, AmeriCorps, the Living Nativity, and Powerhouse. Somehow she still found time for reaching out to her neighbors, friends, and strangers who were up for a river trip or a moonlight snowshoe hike, and anyone she knew of who was battling cancer. These are just a few examples of the ways Donna's life impacted Rusk County. She gave so much, and our family is proud of her legacy. But we are also proud of the Rusk County community for the way it gave back to Donna. In her last weeks, the outpouring of love and support was both humbling and encouraging. Donna had a hard time being on the receiving end of such compassion. Finally, I told her, "If you're going to give it, you gotta take it." She smiled her signature smile and had nothing to say but thank you. Tonight, I also say thank you. Thank you, Rusk County, for being a place our family called home. Thank you for walking alongside and supporting Donna's service. ideas, and involvement for so many years. Thank you for your generosity and genuine concern for the people of Rusk County. Thank you for the ways you join together in times when so many communities are torn apart. Also, thank you for honoring Donna's final act of service by awarding Powerhouse a grant in her honor. With gratitude, Bobby Graffender, daughter of Donna Wachowski. So on behalf of Donna's family, I would like to present the Heart of Gold donation to Lanita for the Powerhouse.
Thank you so very much. It is indeed a great honor to receive this reward on behalf of Donna as well as her family. Donna was a personal friend of mine, mentor, helped me get Powerhouse going, listened to my dreams about what it was going to look like, and without her, I know Powerhouse would not be what it is today. So thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Andy Alvarado, a board member with the Rusk County Community Foundation, and I have the pleasure tonight to talk about the $10,000 Double the Impact Matching Grant. So what is the Double the Impact Matching Grant? Well, we were very fortunate again this year to have a donor that has offered a matching grant of up to $10,000 with a maximum of $1,000 per gift for this event in the following days. So the first $10,000 in gifts will be matched with this donation. So how does this work? So whatever contribution you make, whatever gift, will be applied to the fund of your choice in its entirety. And it'll be matched up to $1,000. So technically, you can give more than $1,000, but the match will be capped at $1,000. So once your gift is applied to your fund, the match will be then applied. 50% of it will go to the Rusk County Community Foundation Helping Hands Fund, which is a new fund that's been a long time goal of the foundation. This fund will help individuals experiencing hard times. It will be administered by an existing group that has guidelines and procedures already in place. 25% of the match will go to the operations of the foundation, and 25%, the remaining 25%, will go to the fund of your choice. So it is an excellent opportunity to give, to make your gift to one of the funds and have it be doubled through the Double the Impact Matching Grant. And it'll help the Community Foundation continue to grow and grant. And next, I'll turn over to Bev Dukersheim, our chair.
Hi, I am Bev Dukersheim, Chair of the Rusk County Community Foundation. It is always an honor every year to update you on the accomplishments of your community foundation. I hope our virtual format expands the number of people that are able to join us tonight. So welcome. I invite you to know more about what we do and whom we serve. Putting together a puzzle is a beloved pastime. It requires patience, persistence, and vision. A puzzle is a perfect analogy for the work of the foundation, for where we began and where we are today. When tackling a puzzle, we usually start with the outside border and work in. It is sometimes easier to find those straight edge pieces that set the boundaries. In the case of the foundation, when we started 14 years ago, we created the framework by developing policies and bylaws, fund documents, and the like. In the beginning, it can be overwhelming. There are so many pieces, but once you start getting the frame together, then piece by piece, one at a time, a picture starts to take shape. Each piece of the puzzle forms part of the bigger picture. The more the puzzle develops, the clearer the image. This year's theme is growing by trust, by transparency and accountability, and by our affiliation with the Community Foundation of Chippewa County, who is nationally accredited. We are out to earn your trust. And just like a puzzle has different shaped pieces, donors have different goals. They have different resources. So we would like to get to know you and to create a plan that is as individual as you are, to fine-tune our approach and our recommendations to help you accomplish your charitable goals. As with any jigsaw puzzle, there is great satisfaction with each added piece. A puzzle brings together fragmented pieces into one masterpiece. It takes time to put it together. It takes trust, and there are no shortcuts. Our mission is to improve the quality of life in the Rusk County community through permanent endowment and grant giving. Because of the trust our donors have placed in us, our assets have grown to over $2.6 million, and we have granted out $428,000, all staying right here in Rusk County. We have created a great handout that explains the power of endowed giving, and it is the reason that your gifts give forever. It is what separates a community foundation from other nonprofits. Grants this year provided COVID relief to 4 area schools, the Raising Highly Capable Kids parenting classes, scholarships, funds to help purchase an ultrasound machine for CareNet, iPads for vision impaired students, support for the Lighthouse Homeless Shelter, active school foundation funds, and much, much more. These grants really matter to the nonprofits that receive them. When I got involved over 14 years ago, I never imagined this kind of impact, and now it's a reality. In a recent Redbook magazine article on money management, there was a checklist of tips, and number 10 was not giving enough. The author realized that in study after study, the people that gave the most are not those that have the most. So the author said, quote, "I've put the charity line higher up in my budget. It is listed under car expenses and clothing as creating the world I want," unquote. The Rusk County Community Foundation is leading the way, actually providing the framework for donors to create the world they want. Being a charitable role model is what this world needs. It is what will make Rusk County a stronger community. So what's ahead? Many of our nonprofits were not able to hold in-person fundraisers, challenging their budgets and service offerings. Our residents' needs have shifted with the pandemic, causing more demand on some nonprofits and less on others. What hasn't changed, though, is that there are many people who still have the desire and the means to give back and make a difference. Key findings in the Chronicle of Philanthropy publication notes that the rich aren't the most generous. It is middle-class Americans who have a far bigger share of their discretionary income to give to charities. Even more important is that every gift matters. Every donor matters. People who give generously are kind, caring, and hardworking, and they know the secret that caring for others, both with their money and with volunteering, often means living a longer life. We need to be open to seeing the needs of someone else and then responding. Each puzzle piece here represents a financial gift, a fund, a donor, a nonprofit, a resident, or a need. Over the years, our picture at RCCF gets clearer and clearer. More people become aware of the foundation and our mission, and more people are impacted for good, forever. With our matching grant opportunity, this is the perfect time for your gift to be doubled. We would then be adding another piece to the puzzle, your piece, the one that forms the masterpiece of creating the world we want right here in Rusk County. Thank you.
I'm Kevin Smith, Treasurer of the Rusk County Community Foundation. I want to begin with a brief history of RCCF over the last 11 years. We began with an anonymous gift of $100,000, and from that amount, as Beverly mentioned, we've grown to over $2.6 million, and that's allocated across 29 funds, and each fund with its own mission according to the donor's desires. We have expectancies of 5 to 6 million. Now these are testamentary bequests or promises, but not guaranteed. But donors expect to give this upon their death or future gifts. $5 to $6 million is a lot of growth that we anticipate over the next 20 years. Our Rusk County Community Foundation is the conduit that brings together people who care with causes that matter, both today and in the future. We've accomplished this with an all-volunteer board and keeping expenses incredibly low over the years. For example, this year's direct administrative fundraising expenses are less than 2% of donations, almost unheard of. Your gift of forever happens when your donation is endowed. Community foundations nationwide, as Beverly mentioned, through the national standards, Community Foundation of Chippewa County is affiliated with, and us through them. Community foundations nationwide, through their formal investment policies, establish a targeted rate of return between 7 and 8% per year. And of this amount, 4% is granted annually, and 3% is reinvested so that endowment grows over the years and continues, and the grant continues to grow out of it. This year's mailings from RCCF has an excellent example, as Bev mentioned, of $25,000 endowment will grow and give forever. Assets are professionally managed. Our investment advisor through our affiliate Community Foundation of Chippewa County is Oracle Wealth Management. They have achieved a 10-year rate of return of 7.32% net of fees. That's an average. The return each year is different, of course. Last year we had a return of 18.85% in 2019, the calendar year, and in 2018 there was a negative 6.64%. But on average we can expect that 7 to 8% figure going forward, and that is the nature of endowment and professional management. The portfolio is a balanced multi-fund ETF portfolio with about 60 to 70% in equities. Most funds are low-cost institutional funds through, we avail ourselves through Oracle Wealth Management. The portfolio was structured for exposure to small, large cap, international stocks, including some emerging market, fixed and equity funds through the fixed income portion. About 40% of that portfolio is 85% domestic bonds, 15% international bonds. Fixed income investments include corporate, government, mortgage and asset-backed securities. So we cover broad aspects of the market with great diversification. Investment fees. the Oracle Wealth Management have steadily declined over the years. In 2014, they charged 1.07% annually. That's declined to 0.79% this year, a 28% steady decrease each and every year. And their direct advisory expenses are 37 basis points, or 3/7 of less than 1%. So the fees are modest. Our affiliation with Chippewa County and the investment advisor has done extremely well for our donors' funds. Brief commentary on the financial statements from fiscal year July 1st, 19 through June 30th, 2020. We added 188,000 in new endowments last year. We had a loss in March, significant loss in March with the COVID crisis, but we ended the fiscal year ending June 30th with an endowed investment loss of $16,000, and much of that has already been, almost all of it has been recovered. So we stayed the course with a disciplined investment policy. A little over $78,000 in grants were made last year, given out locally Rusk County causes, schools, and other local nonprofits during this time period. And next year, we can anticipate up to and possibly near $100,000 in grants between our endowed and local pass-through donations. I'm very, very proud to be a part of this organization and to see what we've accomplished and see what donors have accomplished for Rusk County. Thank you.
Kevin, thank you for that report. Thank you to everyone for your inspiration. And we hope that all of you that have been watching tonight have received the same inspiration, the same feeling of generosity that you have witnessed here tonight, that all of us have experienced being part of this. We hope for those of you that have been sponsors and contributors to our foundation that you will feel the need to continue to support that effort. If you haven't contributed, we hope that this is an inspiration for you to become a part of that important mission for the foundation through the endowments and through the grant giving. It's a great opportunity to be part of something very big and very special. I have been so inspired by the lives of people that have been touched by this foundation. I hope that you have been too. I encourage you to go to our Facebook page, our website, and our Facebook page to learn more about the foundation, to see how you can be part of this as well. Tell your friends about it. In fact, we're taping tonight's event so that you can watch it in the future and share this information with others. So please do that. Again, thank you for being with us this evening, and have a good night.